Hiram here. The other day I did a video called Dry Baking Using Carbon Felt. It was one where I used carbon felt as a standoff instead of that muffin fan guard. Anyway, I got a bunch of questions and suggestions and stuff from people, so I thought since I still had the other half of the package of pancake mix, this stuff I like using, buttermilk pancake, I thought since I had the other half that maybe I'd make another video and try to include all of these suggestions and questions and stuff. One of the things that was said is this method is just like cooking with a Dutch oven using the personal mess kit. Actually, the way I used it was like this. But yeah, it is like a Dutch oven, except with Dutch ovens you usually put coals on the top so that it heats from both sides. In this case I'm just heating it from the bottom, but it still makes like an oven, so that's pretty much right. The other suggestion a couple of people had asked is I had it setting like this. They said, how about turning it over, setting it like this? That way you have this to grab to take the lid off. I use it the other way because since I was using the Trangia with the simmering, where I only had it open so much, you usually have to rotate your pot so that it heats up the whole thing. Otherwise this crescent just heats up one part of your pot and the other part doesn't really get heated up. So I had it this way so that I could move the oven around. But today I'm going to try it this way so that you do have something to grab it with real easy. The other one is, how about using something other than the Trangia for a burner? So what I'm going to do today is use Digitizer 101's Monster Energy Alcohol Burner. I'm going to use the small burner rather than the large one, just to see what happens. I think the large burner might be too hot. Let's see. For a fuel bottle, I'm going to use this. It'll be a continuous feed. Digitizer 101's burner is an external feed bottle type of a burner. So what I have here is a feed bottle with a air vent so that it'll just continuously feed the stove as it needs it, rather than having to squeeze it and watch it and all kinds of stuff. Not a knock on the stove, just a different kind of a bottle, fuel bottle. Alright, let's see, where are we? Oh, carbon felt. I did an earlier video. I had a bunch of people ask me, where do you get the carbon felt? I did an earlier video. I'll try to remember and put the link down below. But I've been getting it at Home Depot. If you go to the plumbing department, they have these flame protectors that you put on walls if you're soldering pipes and stuff so you don't start the wood on fire. I think as you can see, this was about 4 or 5 months ago I got this, and that's what it cost then. I've been told that it's gone up in price. Digitizer 101 gave us some information to a cheaper place to buy a much bigger sheet, so I think I'm going to do that. Alright. What I have here is the half packet of this mix. Instead of putting it in another bag, I'm just going to mix it up in the pouch that it came in. This was half of the pouch, so it uses a half of a cup of water. Just put it in there like that. Just mix it up. This isn't as easy as kneading it. Usually I put it in a plastic bag, just pour the water in, and then just knead the bag. It's not as easy using a spoon. Okay, you just want to get it mixed up enough that the big lumps are gone. Can I make this any more boring? Really surprised. It is much easier just kneading it in the pouch. Okay, I'm going to use these metal pie tins that I got before rather than the aluminum tart pan. Put a little oil on it. In this case, I'm just using a can of spray oil, but you could just use grease and grease your pan. Okay, let's pour this in. Just like so. Okay. Kind of doing this out of sequence here. Take my fuel bottle, attach the burner to it. Open the air vent. I got to get a shorter screw on this. I forgot how long this screw is. See, it's just a little bolt in there. Lift this up so that the alcohol gets into the burner. I don't know, you probably can't see that, but the alcohol is right there in the burner. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. I'm going to use the West Winds pot stand again. Now, unfortunately you can't see this, but if I lift this bottle up, then you see alcohol in there. But now if I just leave it lay like this, as the burner uses the alcohol, it'll suck more out of the bottle. So here we have the bottom of the oven. Put the pie pan with the pancake mix in there, and then just set the lid on top here, leaving a little gap so that the air and steam does get out. And let's see where this goes. I'll leave this set for 15 minutes and then test it. So let's see where this goes. Okay, so we're over 15 minutes now, 15 minutes 20 seconds actually. Let's take a look. Here's another use for carbon felt. Instead of using gloves or pot holder or whatever, you can use them as a pot holder. Just take a scrap strip. I don't feel a thing there. Okay, this is 15 minutes this time. Of course, for those of you that don't know, you test baked stuff with a toothpick or a twig. If you can push it in, pull it back out clean. Looks like maybe just a couple more minutes here. So let's let this go and we'll come back at, let's say, 18 minutes. Okay, there we are at 18 minutes. Again, I'll use my carbon felt pot holder here. Again, I don't feel any temperature at all there. Stick in the toothpick to see if it's done. Coming out clean. Coming out clean. Coming out clean. So, now in this case, use a pair of pliers. Wow, cool. You know, I did have a little bit of runaway problem here. I think this west wind was maybe a little too confining, and it heated up the stove much hotter. I had to take the fuel off sometimes. But here we go, looks like another good pancake. Can you see that? Yeah. Nice brown bottom, not burned. Looks like a pancake to me. A little warm, ouch, ouch. So there we go. Little dry baking using something other than the Trangia. I think I have to come up with something other than this west wind, something more open, so it doesn't confine the heat in here and keep heating up the burner. Okay, so I thank Digitizer 101 for the use of his burner. I thank you for watching. I look forward to your input, questions, remarks, helpful suggestions. And as always, watch for my buddy Max. Bye now.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin.